Hello and welcome to today's PolyAnalyst tutorial. Today we'll be covering how to use the Derive node to create new columns and attributes using a combination of values from your other columns, manually entered values, and how to use some of the functions that are available in the Derive node. So our first task will be to combine the make and model columns into a single column using concatenation. If we look at our data set, we can see some car-related data when we have our vehicle manufacturer and our vehicle model columns. So these are the two strings that we want to combine. To do so, we're going to right-click our Derive node and go to Properties. By default, it's created a new column called Column 1. We're going to change that name to make/model. And to combine our two strings, we can simply call their values. To call the value from a particular column, we can easily just double-click the name of the column over in the columns window on the right. So I'm going to double-click Vehicle Manufacturer. You can see that it just puts some brackets around the name of the column. Then we can simply use the addition sign and call our vehicle model column. So this will combine those two strings. So let's execute and see the results of that. We can see that in our new column, make and model, we have combined the manufacturer and the model. However, it looks ugly as there should be a space in between the two values. So to do that, we can go back to Properties and edit our expression. And what we're going to do is manually create a new string value that's just a space, which is done by using the double quotations. Then we execute again. And we can see that now there is a space in between our two string values. So our next task will be to simply use the today function to create a new column with the value for today's date. So we're going to right-click and go to Properties. Let's rename our column to Date. And if we start typing in today, we can click this pop-up here to summon the today function. The today function has no additional arguments, so we don't need to put anything in these parentheses. We can just execute. And when we check the results, we can see that we have a new column called date with the date and time that the node was executed. And for our final task, we're going to be replacing the values of an already existing column by using the same name as that column in our Derive node. And we're also going to be using the if function so that we conditionally replace the values in that column instead of replacing all of them. So more specifically, what we want is in this data set, we have statistics about different cars. If I scroll down a bit, we can see that for the Ford Pinto, the value for power is missing. So at least some of the values in the power column are missing. What we want to do is to enter an estimate for the power into that column. So I've taken a neural network and created an estimate for what that power value should be. So for the Ford Pinto, the neural network has estimated that the value should be about 68. So how do we get this 68 into this blank cell without replacing all the values in the power column? We need to go to Properties for the Derive node. So to replace the already existing column, we simply need to give our new column the same name. And then to make conditional replacements, we're going to use the if function. Now, the if function needs 3 arguments. The first one is an expression that evaluates to yes or no, true or false. So we're going to use the isNull function, which checks values to see if they are missing or null. And the column we're going to be doing this check in is our power column. So let me select here and double-click power. So this will check the power column in each row to see if it is missing. If it evaluates to true, then we will take the value from the second argument here, which is just our estimated neural network value. And if it evaluates to false, which means that there's already a value in the power column, then we're just going to take the value from the power column. So we'll keep the same value. When we execute this and look at the results, we can see that for the Ford Pinto, we have taken the estimate of 68 and filled in the missing cell with that value. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you and have a wonderful day.